Hello and a very warm welcome. I am Gursheen Garland and you're watching Firstpost. In the next few minutes, we bring you the top 50 updates from around the world only here on Fast and Factual. Let's get started. Our top focus comes in from West Asia. Today, October 7th, marks 1 year of Israel-Hamas war. The war has cost more than 40,000 civilian lives in Gaza. According to Israeli military, 726 of its soldiers died, while it killed 17,000 terror operatives. The Israeli army chief said that the forces had defeated the military wing of Hamas. The war has devastated over 66% of buildings in the Gaza Strip. Meanwhile, people across the world are holding vigils in solidarity with the victims of war. In Turkey, citizens held march to show support for Palestinians. In Berlin, protesters took to the streets to demand a free Gaza. In Argentina, demonstrators gathered at a square chanting "Free Palestine." While in Chile, the Palestinian community mourned the death of people killed in West Asia. As Israel-Hamas war marks a year, Israeli military launched fresh airstrikes on southern Beirut overnight. According to Lebanon's state-run media, 30 Israeli strikes hit the country. The Israeli Defense Forces said that they attacked Hezbollah targets near Beirut, including a weapons storage facility. The strikes lit up Beirut's night sky and covered it with a blanket of thick smoke. Amid airstrikes in Beirut, Hezbollah continues to fire rockets at Israel. According to Israeli military, around 130 projectiles were launched from Lebanon yesterday. The attack reportedly injured at least 10 people and triggered air raid sirens in port city of Haifa. The Israeli army has also confirmed death of a soldier along the northern border amidst its ground operations in Lebanon. Israeli forces have identified and sealed Hezbollah tunnels in Lebanon. The IDF also released a video showing the tunnel. The Israeli military claimed to have destroyed 250 meters of alleged terror infrastructure. It added that Hezbollah-owned equipment, which the group uses to attack Israel, was also found. Iran has reportedly lost contact with its Quds force commander Ismail Qani. Quds chief traveled to Lebanon following the killing of Hezbollah chief Hassan Nasrallah. According to reports, Qani was in Beirut's southern suburbs during an Israeli strike on October 3. Iran and Hezbollah have not been able to reach Qani since then. Iran has lifted restrictions imposed on its air traffic. The Iranian authorities announced resumption of flights starting last night. The restrictions were imposed amidst fears of an Israeli retaliation to Iran's October 1 ballistic missile attack. Iran initially closed its airspace for less than 2 days and then grounded its domestic and international flights on Thursday. Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump visited Pennsylvania for a campaign. He returned to the site where he survived an assassination attempt. Trump was joined by a powerful supporter and friend Elon Musk. Trump invited Tesla CEO on the stage during his speech. Joining the former U.S. president on dais, Musk urged Americans to vote for Trump. Moving to South Asia, Maldivian President Muizzu is on a state visit to India. He met Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi at Hyderabad House in New Delhi. PM Modi announced an array of projects and aid for Maldives. Muizzu also called his Indian counterpart and President Draupadi Murmu. New Delhi has said that the Maldivian president visit will give momentum to Indian-Maldives ties. Muizzu is scheduled to meet business leaders in Bengaluru and Mumbai cities next week. He will stay in India until October 10. In the Indian city of Chennai, 3 people died and over 230 were hospitalized due to dehydration. This after around 1.5 million people gathered to attend the Indian Air Force's air show. The show marks the 92nd anniversary of the Indian Air Force. According to reports, there were no drinking water arrangements for spectators, and many were stuck in severe traffic, leaving them exposed to the blazing sun. In Pakistan, a blast outside Chennai International Airport rocked Karachi. According to reports, the explosion killed 3 people, including 2 Chinese workers. The blast reportedly also injured 10 people, including a Chinese national. China condemned the alleged terrorist attack and said that it is looking into the matter with Pakistan. The Baloch Liberation Army has claimed responsibility for the attack. According to North Korean state media, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un oversaw a live-fire artillery exercise. The pictures released by North Korean media shows Kim watching the drills at a firing range. This comes after the North Korean leader last week said the country would not hesitate to use its nuclear weapons if its sovereignty would be breached. According to exit polls in Tunisia, its incumbent president Kais Saied is set to win the presidential polls. Saied reportedly got 89% of support amid a low voter turnout of around 28%. Yesterday, Tunisians cast their vote amid crackdown on opposition. A recent surge in gang violence in central Haiti has killed at least 70 people. According to the UN's migration agency, the violence has also displaced 6,300 people. This after gang members attacked the Haitian town of Pont-Sondé on Thursday. The gang opened fire at residents with automatic rifles and torched houses. Moving to climate news now, in northern Bangladesh, severe flooding triggered by heavy rains has killed at least 5 people. The deluge has also left thousands of people stranded. Water levels of the major rivers have surged, displacing families from their homes. Bangladesh has deployed army personnel to help flood-hit victims. Continuing with India, the death toll from flash floods in Meghalaya's Garo Hills region has risen to 15. Floods have inundated districts in West and South Garo Hills. Yesterday, 7 members of a family died due to landslide triggered by the floods. Parts of northern Thailand have inundated with severe flooding as well. Heavy seasonal downpours and rising river levels have flooded residential and tourist areas in some neighborhoods. People were seen navigating through waist-deep water. Volunteers and rescue personnel use boats to help the stranded. Bosnia's Jablanica was hit by one of the deadliest floods in years. Over the weekend, at least 16 people died and dozens were injured. The water damaged houses, roads and railway links. Neighboring Croatia and Serbia also offered assistance to Bosnia for rescue operations. These damaging floods come after a long spell of summer drought. In Idaho's Boise County, a wildfire has been burning dangerously close to homes. Thick plumes of smoke were seen looming over a residential area. While a firefighting plane dropped water to combat the fire, according to reports, the fire has already burnt thousands of acres in the Boise foothills. In the Bolivian city of Oruro, residents came together to clean the polluted Uru Uru Lake. It has been contaminated with garbage and mineral sediments. The volunteers reportedly collected nearly 180 metric tons of trash. The water body is home to flamingo and migratory birds, used it as a pit stop. On to business and tech news now. The Monetary Policy Committee of India's Reserve Bank is all set to meet today. The committee will kick off a 3-day meeting to decide the direction of the country's interest rates. The RBI has kept the rates unchanged at 6.5% for the last 10 consecutive meetings. Analysts believe the stance of the Indian Central Bank is expected to remain the same in this meeting as well. American hedge fund Starboard Value has reportedly bought over $1 billion worth of stakes in drug maker Pfizer. The firm is likely to seek changes in the pharma giant's management. Reports say Starboard Value contacted Pfizer's former executives to assist with its move. The drug maker was a leading producer of the COVID-19 vaccine. However, it has been facing a slump since the impact of COVID-19 has diminished. World's second largest mining giant Rio Tinto has approached lithium producer Arcadium for a buyout. Reports say the proposed deal could be valued at as much as $6 billion. Arcadium is a leading lithium miner which projects across Argentina, Australia, China, the UK and the US. The critical mineral is used to power renewable energy. If the deal goes through, it would make Rio Tinto one of the world's largest suppliers of lithium. Britain is set to kick off its International Investment Summit on October 14. It will feature executives from tech firms like Google and Wave. The CEO of Brookfield Asset Management will also take part in the event. It is Britain's Labour government's first investment summit. Prime Minister Keir Starmer is looking to boost foreign direct investment in the country. Italy has charged 7 people and 2 firms with fraud and breaching airplane safety rules. They are accused of supplying flawed parts to American plane maker Boeing. The charges stem from a 2021 probe launched by Italian prosecutors. At the time, Boeing had said that its 787 Dreamliner planes had defective pieces. Investigators found that 2 Italian subcontractors used cheaper materials to make certain plane parts. Meanwhile, a new round of negotiations is set to kick off between Boeing and its workers in the US. A federal government mediator has summoned both parties for talks in Seattle. Boeing's factory workers' strike has been going on for about 3 weeks. The union, representing about 33,000 workers, has rejected 2 wage contractors from the plane maker. Carmaker Volkswagen CEO has weighed in on the European Union's planned tariff on Chinese electric vehicles. The head of the German carmaker has suggested that tariffs should be investment-based. He said the Chinese carmakers investing and creating jobs in Europe should be given concessions. Last week, the EU approved up to 45% import tariffs on China-made EVs. It will be imposed from next month. The US Federal Aviation Administration has approved the launch of SpaceX's Falcon 9 rocket. It will carry the European Space Agency's Hera asteroid mission into space. Falcon 9 is scheduled to lift off today from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida. The rocket was grounded after an issue during a previous mission on September 28th. Meanwhile, the US has allowed SpaceX and T-Mobile to provide direct-to-cell services. It allows users to access mobile phone services using satellites instead of towers. SpaceX and T-Mobile will use Starlink satellites to provide these services in the US state of North Carolina. The area was hit by Hurricane Helene earlier this month. The share price of Japanese gaming firm Nintendo jumped over 4% today. This is after reports said that Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund is planning to increase its stake in the company. The Saudi Public Investment Fund currently holds over 8.5% of Nintendo's shares. On to sports, and as usual, we start with cricket. India beat Pakistan in the Women's T20 World Cup by 6 wickets on Sunday. At Dubai International Stadium, bowling first, the women in blue restricted Pakistan to a mere 106 runs. India reached the target in 18.5 overs to register their first win of the tournament. Fast bowler Arundhati Reddy was declared player of the match for picking 3 wickets. Team India will next face Sri Lanka on October 9. The men in blue also kept the winning spirits running. India registered a 7-wicket win over Bangladesh on Sunday in India's Gwalior city. India bowled out Bangladesh for 127 runs and chased it down with 49 balls to spare. Arshdeep Singh was awarded as player of the match for picking up 3 wickets and giving away just 14 runs. India now lead Bangladesh in 1-0 in 3-match T20 series. In football, a massive suspension blow hit the English Premier League club Chelsea. 2 of their players were not allowed to play in the club's upcoming match against Liverpool. They are defenders Wesley Fofana and Marc Cucurella. Both these players received yellow cards during Chelsea's match against Nottingham. Barcelona notched over 3-0 win over Deportivo Alaves in a La Liga match. The star of the show was Barca's striker Robert Lewandowski. He netted all the goals by himself in the first half to help his club win. This makes Lewandowski the first player to net 10 goals this La Liga season. Real Madrid forward Vinicius Jr. has picked up a neck injury. He hurt himself during Real Madrid's win over Villarreal. Yesterday, as a result, he will be missing Brazil's upcoming World Cup qualifiers. The injury will force him to sit out of Brazil's fixtures against Chile and Peru. Real Madrid's Dani Carvajal also suffered an injury during his club's win over Villarreal. The Spanish international encountered a serious knee ligament rupture. Carvajal was in tears as he was stretched off during the game. This injury could jeopardize his play for the rest of the season. In tennis, women's world number 6 Coco Gauff has secured the China Open title. The American displayed a masterclass and overcame Czech's Karolina Machova. In straight sets, Gauff defeated her rival 6-1, 6-3 in the women's singles final. She is now the first American to win the tournament since Serena Williams in 2013. World's number 1 Yannick Sinner has entered the round of 16 at Shanghai Masters. The Italian was put to test by Thomas Martin Echeverry of Argentina. Sinner lost the first set of 6-7, but he rallied back to secure the next two sets 6-4, 6-2. The gripping match lasted 2 hours and 39 minutes. Meanwhile, Carlos Alcaraz of Spain overcame Yibing Wu of China at Shanghai Masters. The Spaniard defeated his Chinese rival 7-6, 6-3 in straight sets. This was Alcaraz's 50th win this year. Alcaraz is set to face either Gael Monfils or Hugo Humbert in the next round. In basketball, NBA legend LeBron James and his son zoomed into history books as the first father-son duo to share the court in league's history. LeBron James' son Bronny hit the court during the Los Angeles Lakers game against the Phoenix Suns. Senior James described the moment as surreal on social media. Moving to the world of showbiz now, Hollywood star Keanu Reeves made his auto racing debut over the weekend. However, during the race, he spun out of the track into the grass. The actor didn't suffer any injuries and rejoined the race. The 60-year-old actor finished the race at the 25th spot. According to reports, rapper Tupac Shakur's family is investigating rapper Sean Combs' involvement in the former's death. The family has hired a lawyer to do so. Rapper Combs is currently in jail awaiting trial on the charges of sex trafficking and racketeering. Rapper Shakur was tragically shot in 1996, after which he succumbed to his injuries. The American Music Awards has completed 50 glorious years in an anniversary special on the television featured performances spanning from genres and generation. The highlights were a performance by Jennifer Hudson, who paid tribute to Whitney Houston. Mariah Carey marked the occasion with her popular number We Belong Together. The night came to an end with Chaka Khan's I Am Every Woman. According to reports, Joker Afoli Dew has earned an estimated $40 million over the weekend at the North American box offices. The film stars Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga in lead roles. Industry experts consider this as a weak start. Malaysian director Adele Lim will helm the third installment of The Princess Diaries. She said in a statement that she is beyond excited to be a part of the film. Anne Hathaway and Julie Andrew will also reprise their roles. The plot details are under the wraps. Daniel Craig's Tara Queer premiered at the New York Film Festival. Directed by Luca Guadagnino, the film is an adaptation of a novel by William Burroughs. Set in the 1950s, the story is about an American expat who develops feelings for a young male student. Euphoria star Zendaya has revealed that the story of her season 3 has a time jump. She said that the time jump is important because there is only so much high school drama a person can deal with. The story after the time jump will look at central characters' lives after high school. The production will begin next year. American-Irish actor Saoirse Ronan is all set for her upcoming drama film The Outrun. She plays the role of a recovering addict in the film. The actor says that it was a very difficult thing to portray on screen. She also worked with a movement coach so that she can embrace the drunk personality of the character. She is also donning the hat of a producer for the first time in this film. American television personality Paris Hilton revealed being diagnosed with ADHD. It is a neurodevelopmental disorder that affects a person's behavior and ability to focus. She said the diagnosis helped her understand herself better. Hilton initially hid it, thinking people would label her as incapable. And now she calls it her superpower as it makes her creative and passionate. And finally, American singer and songwriter Otis Redding has been honored with a posthumous star on Hollywood Walk of Fame. Her daughter Carla Redding Andrews received the star on his behalf. The singer died in 1967 in a plane crash at the age of 26. That's all for today. Thank you for joining us. I am Gushin Galen and we'll see you right back here tomorrow. Stay informed and stay tuned to First Post.